What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So it looks like there will be an official press conference for Jim Harbaugh being introduced as the new Chargers head coach this Thursday, February 1st. So obviously we'll be putting up pictures and some other more news if there does more come out of that. I know there have been talks and rumors that they have already hired or are in the process of hiring their new GM and Joe Hortiz, who we mentioned in the last video, who's a director of player personnel from the Ravens, and obviously one of the guys that I was looking for them to hire compared to others. But what's going on, everybody? Future Steven here to let you know that it does look like it's official that the Chargers are going to be hiring the general manager Joe Hortiz, and it looks like it's official on their social media. So yeah, it's definitely very excited about this get that they're able to get somebody I was very highly interested in throughout the whole process, and luckily this looks like it's going to be shaping up to be one of the best staffs in the NFL. Even their strength and conditioning is getting greater, because there's some rumors out there also that he's going to be taking Ben Herbert, who is the Michigan strength and conditioning coach, to be able to come to the Chargers and help them out. And obviously he turned that place around while he was there with Jim Harbaugh, and hopefully he does the same thing, and hopefully a lot of these Chargers players stay healthy as well, because he is going to kick their butts. Definitely watching some of the videos and seeing how he transformed that Michigan team. Hopefully it will happen with the Chargers as well. But yeah, there's a lot of rumors there. Even some rumors that if Harbaugh did not pick the Chargers or decide to come coach there, apparently they would be pivoting to Mike Vrabel. He was their next in-line coach, which wasn't surprising, because I guess they did not want to go the older route and Pete Carroll or Bill Belichick, even though I don't even think they interviewed any of those guys. But there probably was a possibility of Ben Johnson. It's going to be a top candidate here at some of the other places. But yeah, either way, would have still been a nice pick in my opinion. You probably don't get as great of a staff around him, but Harbaugh is definitely putting up one of the better staffs out there for his team. And if these guys can't do it, then there definitely is a curse for the Chargers. But hoping for the best, and this is definitely something to get excited about for a Chargers fan. And some more feedback from players at USC's junior day over the weekend. I know a tight end in one of the featured classes, Chase Lofton, said he was very impressed, and a linebacker, Mark Nashar, I don't know how you say that last name, but he also said he's building a relationship with the coaching staff as well, so that's good to hear. Definitely looks like a lot of these guys are staying for the immediate future. Hopefully, like I said, a guy like we just talked about, Harbaugh, does not try to poach any of these guys. But yes, overall, definitely very happy and excited for the future of USC football. And even a person that is excited is Nick Saban, because apparently Lincoln Riley said he called him after he retired, and Nick Saban told him that he thinks USC is going to be one of the elite teams out there, that Riley is putting together an elite defensive staff. He thinks USC is going to win multiple championships, and that USC can dominate college football. So a lot of great praise and a lot of great quotes there from the GOAT, if that's really what did happen. I know Fox Sports put this out via The Athletic, so a lot of reputable places putting this stuff out, so I'm pretty sure it is what was said. And if he thought that, maybe that's why he wanted to get out of the business anyways, because he thought USC was going to be back. And hopefully he is correct, and we definitely need it. It's been like almost 2 decades of USC dominating and winning championships, so hopefully they will be able to get back on top sooner than later. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that if that is the case. But definitely some high praise from the ex-Alabama coach Nick Saban. And then PFF did like a highest graded freshman wide receivers out there of college last year, and Zachariah Branch was the 10th highest graded freshman wide receiver, which is pretty crazy because he did miss a handful of games due to injury. And just imagine how good his numbers would have been if he was 100% healthy throughout that whole entire freshman year. So looking for a big bounce back his sophomore year. I hope they use him more as a regular slot wide receiver. You don't have to do runarounds and put him in the backfield and all this stuff. And yeah, he could still return kicks and all that stuff, but Yeah, I just prefer him to stick strictly to that slot wide receiver and let him flourish there. But we'll see what ends up happening now that they're in the Big Ten. And then there was also, I did want to see, because they always update weekly the 2024 recruiting class rankings, and it's always pretty surprising to me because there's always these guys committing other places and other schools, and yet USC is still kind of hung around in the same area. Right now, they're still ranked number 18 in that 2024 class and have a chance to be bumped up because obviously there's a guy like a linebacker, Jaden Walker, and some other guys here and there that they could be getting pretty soon here within the next week once that real signing date does end up opening up, the official one. So hoping for a couple more guys and maybe a top 15 finish overall. But yeah, it's just funny how teams could be ranked one spot ahead of USC, and all the people are talking about how great that class is, but because USC is right behind them, they're not talked about as much, of course, and the type of talent that they do have. But I think they did find some really good guys, whether they were lower 4 stars or high 3 stars, but either way, definitely looking forward to seeing what they can do the next couple years at USC. And Duke is still ranked around number 7 in the AP poll over the weekend, which was nice. I guess those couple wins after that Pittsburgh loss the other week definitely did not hurt them as much, so I'm glad to see that. And they also did play at a very tough place in Virginia Tech last night on Monday, because luckily they were able to get the victory last night, 77-67. A lot of guys stepped up. They didn't really have one guy scoring more points than the other. Everybody just played their game, and they were able to steal this one and get away with this victory and not have an upset loss like they kind of did last year as well up at Virginia Tech. So definitely very happy about this. And then when it came to 247 Sports ranking the top small forwards in the 2024 class for basketball, high school basketball this season coming up, of course, 2 Duke players were in the top 5. At number 3 is Isaiah Evans, the 5-star, and the other 5-star in Con Knuppel. So it's pretty funny that when Knuppel comes, he's probably not even going to get that much playing time compared to even like Evans, who's considered the way better player, and yet he's still a top 5-star overall at his position. So yes, Duke is definitely loading up, which is nice because you get the very talented guys who can play right away and help you out, whether it's starting or off the bench, and then you get really talented guys that want to come and stick around, and even if they have to sit out for a year, they're definitely going to be playing the following year, and it's definitely a nice recipe for success for Coach John Shire. And PFF also had the top-rated freshman quarterbacks last year in Power 5 schools, and Duke's Grayson Loftus was like the number 5 overall quarterback freshman last year, which is pretty cool. He obviously got into a handful of games, which he probably wasn't supposed to, just because he was like 3rd string, but because of injuries and all this stuff, he had to, and he definitely stepped up, and his stats show otherwise too, of how good he really was and probably could have been now going into his future playing career. So definitely very excited about what he can do later for this Duke football program. And then the Duke football program did also hire an assistant director of operations from Penn State, a guy in the name of Aiden Fizzle. Hopefully I'm saying that correct, but yes, I guess he was in that program, and now they've hired him as an assistant of their director of operations. So it's looking good so far, as long as you're stealing from the top and some other good places. And not that surprising because Manny Diaz did recently coach their defensive staff area, so I'm pretty sure he has a nice relationship with this guy who could probably become the regular, director of their operations at some point in the near future. So we'll see. And yes, sadly, Monday night, the Lakers did lose to the Rockets on the road, 119-135, and kind of wondering if they kind of just gave up after halftime because they are playing a back-to-back. They do play today and Tuesday in Atlanta too, so they're still on the road. I think this is the start of their Grammys road trip, but maybe they're trying to save some energy for both games, and I guess we'll see if LeBron and AD do play tonight. They did play on Monday, but there is also some talk and rumors that maybe the DeJounte Murray to LA trade is kind of being on hold right now, but just because of how well D'Angelo Russell is playing. And I don't think that's really the case. It's just a guy who's been on a hot streak for a couple of weeks and stuff, almost a month. It's not like he can maybe keep this up all the way. If he does, then obviously the Lakers don't have to trade him. But I don't know. He's always been a factor that the Hawks don't really want him. And of course, now that he's playing well, do they want him? Maybe not. Maybe still not. I doubt it. But I know there was also another rumor out there that the Lakers would be only willing to trade Austin Reeves if it was for a clear-cut guy who is an all-star out there in the league. So that's pretty tough, especially with his, price percentage of around $12 million a year to start off this year to be able to be traded out. So the only two trades I could really think of and came up with were one with the Chicago Bulls. Obviously, the Lakers get Caruso and Vucevic, and then the Bulls get Reeves, Gabe Vincent, and their 2029 first-round pick. Obviously, I think the Bulls said they want to get multiple first-round picks for Caruso, but if you're throwing Reeves in there and this future first-round pick is unprotected, I think that should go through. So either way, that should be fine. And then another trade would be with the Raptors. The Lakers get Bruce Brown, and the Raptors get Reeves, Gabe Vincent, and that 29 first-round pick, but it's top 3 protected. So obviously, they're pretty much trading some pretty good players. I would think Bruce Brown in this scenario is the better player, which is why the Lakers still have to send out the first-round pick, but they still get to put a protection on there in the future in case if it does end up in the top 3, they still get to keep it. So either way, I think this could work out. But like I said, these are just mock trades. Just because it works here does not mean it will work in real life. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day.